addressing a press conference, Delhi Water Minister Atishi has appealed to Haryana government to increase the water discharge into the Yamuna on humanitarian grounds. Further, Atishi also added that the capital is facing a shortage of 70 million gallons per day in production due to lack of raw water in the Monaki Canal and Wazirabad Reservoir. The Aam Aadmi Party MLAs have also written a letter to Union Jal Shakti Minister C.R. Patil requesting the intervention and coordination with the North India states to provide more water to the capital. Delhi Congress workers held a Matka Phod protest across the city, accusing both the centre and the state government of playing a blame game. BJP workers, on the other hand, held protests outside Atishi's residence as well. Well, the water crisis in Delhi has turned into a legal battle between Delhi and Haryana government as well. Earlier, Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu pledged his full support into this matter. What is really going on? Who's at fault? And why should Delhiites pay for this kind of a misgovernance is something that we'll talk about in the next half an hour. Joining us on the show is Dr. Sharad Kohli, senior economist. Also with us on the program is Advocate Chandni Preeti Shah, political analyst and lawyer. Mr. Kailash Adhikari, MD of Governance Now, will be joining us momentarily. Last but not the least, Mr. G. Sridatan, senior journalist, also joining us on the program. Dr. Kohli, what do you make? You are from Delhi. What do you make of this nuisance that has perhaps happened in Delhi in the past as well? But this time, the entire scope and the level at which it is transpiring is absolutely ridiculous. We understand that water is a scarce resource, and our neighboring states are usually beckoned and called upon whenever there is a shortage, but it does not make headlines. What would you attribute this shortage to? Is this misgovernance? And another thing that perhaps is also becoming very apathetic is the fact that whenever something happens in Delhi, be it pollution, be it water, or be it anything else, it's the neighboring states who are usually blamed for that kind of a problem. Are you tired of seeing this back and forth? Also, as somebody who lives in Delhi and a senior economist who perhaps also understands what exactly is happening here.
Thank you so much, Vineet, and good evening to my fellow panelists and NewsX viewers. I'm not just tired, I'm thirsty as well. Vineet,
a good one.
With you. Because it's a very sorry state of affairs. Why is it sorry? Is because this is the national capital of the world's 5th largest economy. This is the national capital of an economy which is aspiring to be the 3rd largest in the next couple of years. This is the national capital of a city which we are trying to showcase to the world that we are the fastest developing country around the world. So it sends a very, very wrong message. And I'm sure your channel is seen internationally as well. And I'm told you're going to come up with an international channel soon. But not just that, your channel even now is being seen internationally. So these pictures, and which is being thrown across many other channels, is sending a very, very wrong message. Apart from the inconvenience and the problems it's causing to Delhiites. Now, whether this is an outcome of politics, or this is an outcome of heat, or this is an outcome of a genuine water shortage, whatever it may be, the fact of the matter is that people of Delhi are short on water. There are areas in Delhi like Lajpat Nagar, a lot of areas in South Delhi which is supposed to be the elite part of Delhi, where water is not coming. You'll be surprised. I mean, where I'm sitting right now, I'm sitting in South Delhi, and my support team in office tells me, although this is an office where I'm operating from, my support team came to me a couple of days back. They said, sir, we have to open the office at 5 a.m. in the morning to make sure that the tanks overhead the building we are housed in, that they are full. Otherwise, there's no water coming in the evening, and especially for the ladies' toilet, there was no water yesterday. All in all, I think so. This is an office where we shut down at probably 6:30 or 7. But what happens to the residents around the area? How are they managing? This is what happens. The scenes we are watching on the screen right now. A tanker comes and there's a deluge of people who climb up the tank and they put their pipes and they brought their jars, they brought their cans and so on and so forth. This is not a way. When the chief minister and the deputy chief minister of a city state is running the city from the jail, what else do you expect? I'm sorry to say this. You can't expect anything better to happen when both the top shots of the Delhi government are in jail and they refuse to resign. They are adamant. We want to run the city from the jail. So if you run the city from the jail, I'm sorry, I have no respect for jail, but this is what happens. Because you're not able to sort out and you came with a lot of promises. You wanted to make this city sound like a Singapore or a Dubai. What happened to all that? What happened to all the promises you made on pollution? What happened to all the promises you made on so many other things? Where have those promises gone? The fact of the matter is that you're struggling to get yourself out of corruption. You caught in the net of corruption, and you're trying to prove to the courts that we are not corrupt, whereas the proofs are there in your against you. I'm not sure as to how these people are going to run the government. I think I really pity for Delhiites. I mean, it is the poor people beneath who suffered the most. I don't think people living in Greater Kailash or people living in golf links, they are climbing up the tankers. These people who are climbing up the tankers are the people who are living in the suburban areas of Delhi, who are living in villages of Delhi, who are living in less facilitated areas of Delhi. These are the people who are suffering the most. In fact, some of them were telling me, sir, we regret coming and settling down in Delhi. इससे तो हमारा गांव कहीं अच्छा था, बिहार में, यूपी में, जहां से भी ये लोग आए. That was far better. So I think it's a very, very sorry state of affairs. Basic necessity of life, air and water. Unfortunately, both these things in Delhi, clean air is scarce. Water now is not available. It is peak of the summer. Delhi is experiencing one of its worst summers in last 3.5 decades with no water. As it is, people are fainting on the road because of heat. And imagine if the water is not there. I think if the root cause of this is politics, it should be resolved. All the political ideology should be kept aside and the problem should be resolved. And I think the Chief Minister should respectfully submit his resignation and hand over the reins to somebody who can properly manage the state beneath.
Right, and you spoke about resignation, and Chandni, in fact, there are more reasons than one for the Chief Minister of Delhi to submit his resignation. One, of course, that he's not able to govern Delhi because he's locked up in Tihar jail. And secondly, do you really buy this fact that every time something goes wrong in Delhi, it's either Haryana or Uttar Pradesh or the surrounding states that are to be blamed? And Dr. Kohli, in fact, articulated it beautifully that the basic necessities of life, which is, of course, number one is air and number two is water, are scarcely available in the capital city, which is the capital to not just India, but it is also a capital to the fifth largest economy in the world, aspiring to be the third largest economy in the world. We understand, there is this big brick wall between the center and the state when it comes to governing and running Delhi. But, these problems were never faced by people who've lived in Delhi throughout their life.
Vineet, very well put out by you and Sharadji. We've seen this. This is a pattern that Aam Aadmi Party has followed, that anything that happens wrong in their governance, they have to either blame it to the center or to the, states that are adjoining, and blaming the entire, problem on them that they are.
So according to the Aam Aadmi Party, even the Swati Maliwal episode that happened was orchestrated and the Shadyantra was rachod by the BJP.
I think, everybody in Aam Aadmi Party are very, doodh ka dhula, and nobody actually, they are the avatars of God, I suppose. But, barring all of that, let's focus on, what actually has the Supreme Court also said, in this case. Like when the Delhi government seeked directions for Haryana, the Supreme Court dismissed that plea. They disposed it off, and instead they directed the Delhi government to approach the Upper Yamuna River Board, which they did. And now today, when they've done, the Haryana government has said that yes, we are, we would be giving water. But apart from that, this has become a recurring litigation from the side of Delhi government. And previously also, Supreme Court had refused to issue any direct orders to Haryana when such litigations had been brought up to it. In fact, the court asked the Delhi government to file an affidavit on the action taken against the tanker mafia. No, nobody is talking about the tanker mafia, that is going on in Delhi, which is also a very big contributing factor to the water crisis that is going on today in Delhi. The court has warned that if the Delhi government fails to act, the matter will be handed over to the Delhi police. Now, I fail to understand why does Atishi Marlena does not even address this issue when it comes to, doing press conferences, and they only keep blaming the government despite the fact that the court has already disposed of their plea. They have, put out the Haryana government's affidavit also in the Supreme Court, but still it did not explicitly validate or reject that kind of evidence that was presented by Atishi Marlena. Right. Now, apart from that, nobody talks about the broken promises of 24 hours supply, water supply that was given to the Delhi residents by the Aam Aadmi Party, and that also without any blueprint. They do not know how to do this. As I said, there is inaction against the tanker mafia. This group exploits the crisis by charging exorbitant prices for water. And what is AAP doing? Nothing. They are illegally profiteering, from this to continue. This is making a bad situation worse for the Delhi residents. It's like after the liquor scam, they're allegedly doing a water scam, right? There's water wastage and theft, that is again significantly contributing to the water crisis. There's mismanagement in water distribution. Under the AAP's rule, there's a glaring disparity in water distribution. I mean, the Lieutenant Governor has pointed out that 7% of the households still lack piped water, and this showcases there's AAP's failure to ensure equitable water access for all. I mean, the affluent areas are receiving adequate water, while the poorer neighborhoods, they are suffering, right? Again, there's mismanagement, there's inefficiency in water treatment plants. The WTP, that's the water treatment plant in Wazirabad that operates, it's operating below capacity due to insufficient water in Yamuna. Now, again, when you come to Yamuna, let's not forget that, the high ammonia level in the Yamuna River and the industrial waste that has contaminated the Delhi water sources. Nobody is again talking about it. What happened to, cleansing of Yamuna, and we will make Yamuna like, there is no river in the world. Nothing about that. There is over extraction of groundwater that is being done by Delhi Jal Board. Again, no questions being, directed to the Aam Aadmi Party and to the chief minister who's sitting in the jail right now, and to all the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party. Nobody talks about this. So there's, there's a short-sighted approach of the Aam Aadmi Party. There's no management practice that is being conducted by the Aam Aadmi Party. All of this together is jeopardizing, Delhi's future water security. And I think it is time that, everybody gets together and without politicizing the issue like the Aam Aadmi Party is doing time and again, it is time that we ask that what is the solution? What are you going to do about this?
Right. Let me also rope in Mr. Kailash Adhikari into this conversation. Mr. Adhikari, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Bijli, pani or hawa. These are perhaps the three main things that people want, from the government that they have selected, that has been running a particular part of the country, in this case the capital, for 10 odd years, but they're still not getting it. And yet what we are mired in is political tu meme. How is the common man who perhaps cannot afford motors, who cannot afford air conditioners? There is also a glaring report about the power shortages across Delhi NCR, coupled with this water shortage as well. How is the common man supposed to, in fact, get through this tough weather, especially when the government is nothing short of the word incompetent?
You're absolutely right. Firstly, India is we are all experiencing excruciating summer this time. And the IMD forecast had said very well in the beginning of the, at the helm of the summers, that this time the summers will be tough. In spite of that, the national capital of this country is facing an acute water shortage. Now we see very videos where we feel bad at how the people of Delhi, the common man of Delhi, is running behind tankers just for a little bit of water. Now, as you rightly said in the beginning, that bijli, pani, sadak और हवा, ये एक आम आदमी की आज कोई luxuries नहीं है, but एक basic need है. ये हमारी रोजमर्रा के जीवन का एक अहम अंग है, and which is a part of the governance of any government to provide. The Delhi government in this case, the Aam Aadmi Party is in power, and the Delhi government in this case has really failed to deliver to the public. They are here to provide, alcohol as a flowing water to the common man, but they have failed miserably when it comes to provide a basic necessity such as water. We have seen severe heat strokes and severe people dying because of it, and all that is done is just bickering over the fact that particular state is not giving me water, or someone is not following a particular order. But what have you all done? The Delhi Jal Board, before this government, the Aam Aadmi Party government came into power, was into profits when the Sheila Dikshit government was in power, and now it is running into hefty amount of losses. I think after the Delhi excise scam or the liquor scam, we'll have a water scam, as my learned friend just said before me. It is just time that, that gets unearthed now. What is needed is that, good governance in Delhi. The entire government of Delhi has just mastered the art of blaming the central government or the state governments from where it has to receive water, but there is no action plan in front of the public. The Aam Aadmi Party, when it came into power, it had it had provided a mountain of promises about how they will turn around, or they will, 360 degree, they will provide an entire relief to the problems of Delhi. But what they have done instead of 360 degrees is just piled up the problems instead of removing the problem. The chief minister is in Tihar jail. The governance is in shambles. You just see one or two faces coming out, and instead of providing an actual action plan in front of the public as a responsible government, what they are doing is just shifting. How we play passing the parcel game. They're just shifting the blame from themselves to the others.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Sridhatan. How do you perceive this problem as? On one hand, we are looking to host the Olympics in this country in the next few years. On the other hand, we are also looking to be a $6 to $7 trillion economy. But what good are all these numbers if our political masters continue to enjoy satta and power without being accountable to the common man?
It's very shameful, let me put it straight that way. And let me tell you one thing, Puneet. Today, our office has two staff members have not come because they didn't have water. And one of the fellows had to shell out around $50,000. They had to shell out, I was told that they had to shell out around $45,000 to $50,000 to get water tank to come to their place. So this is the state of affairs, and it is very bad. It is, and it is not that see, I put up in South Delhi, and in a sort of like a government colony. There also we are facing a lot of problems. We have to wake up, adjust our timings according to the water supply and all that. It is cutting across the region. Everywhere the problem is there. And as rightly put across by Dr. Kohli, that see the government should instead of passing the buck should address the issue, because this is very pathetic. Because you have seen how even small girls running after trucks and climbing up on the tracks to get water and all that. This is very shameful, and I'm very sad that this is happening at our and the government is as rightly said by others, that it's a water scam unfolding here. The government has done nothing. Why did they foresee this thing? They were politicking. They were focusing on their elections, their political management. That is what is very bad, and it is high time that the people should come out and ask these politicians the questions, the right questions, and take it forward. That is
right.
And I must say that the government also, the center also should step in and try to solve this in the interest of the larger interest of the people. And this is not the time to play politics at this hour. And people are suffering at a very serious way. That
Absolutely.
is what I want.
Absolutely. And Dr. Kohli, we all know next month it's the monsoon season. What's going to happen to Delhi roads? They're all going to be clogged up. Nobody's going to be able to get anywhere on time. Come October, November, Dr. Kohli, we all know what's going to happen to the AQI. And I believe, the Aam Aadmi Party at this point in time is not even thinking about October, November. They're only thinking of the crisis at hand at this point in time. Considering the fact that Delhi is the city, or rather the place, that has given the Aam Aadmi Party everything, including their first opportunity at governance, don't you think Delhiites have been dealt a very bad hand in terms of what they are getting and what was promised?
Well, Vineet, you touched a very sensitive issue as to what is in their mind. Let me tweak your statement a little bit with your permission. What they are thinking is where to fight the next elections. They are also thinking how to bring more allegations against Prime Minister Modi and the government in power in the center. They are also thinking how to continue to keep the satta in their hand. They are also thinking as to how Arvind Kejriwal can come out of jail and prove that all the proof that Enforcement Directorate has is false or whatever. This is all they are thinking, unfortunately. If they were really thinking of citizens' issues, if they were thinking of whatever you mentioned, that there's monsoon season coming, I'm sure you're going to see waterlogging across the city with the perennial problem which has been there. Why talk of pollution in October, November, Vineet? We've been seeing summer pollution, which we never saw before. This time the AQI in the summer months, when it is supposed to be very, very negligible, has been very poor. So I think pollution has become a year-round problem. So I really don't think they are now connected with Delhi's problems, or they are connected with Delhi's people. I think they will have to reset themselves. And my first suggestion as a citizen of Delhi is that, for God's sake, please hand over the reins to somebody. Don't resign as a government in case you don't want to. At least hand over to somebody who's out of jail. Pick up any citizen of the city, hand over to the person. Don't run the government from jail, because from jail you can't conduct meetings. Don't you think, Vineet, that a problem as serious as water, the crisis as serious as water, requires regular meeting of officials, regular meeting with Delhi Jal Board, regular meeting of the bureaucrats, regular interaction with the central government, regular interaction with Haryana, Himachal? How will those meetings happen? The top two bosses of Delhi are sitting in Tihar jail, and they are chakki piecing, or they are doing whatever, God knows what he's doing there, reading newspapers. But the fact of the matter is that it's a headless government right now, and you can't expect anything better from this headless government. Not that I meant that when he was out of the jail, he was doing some magic. He was definitely not doing. He was thinking of how to win Gujarat, how to win Madhya Pradesh, how to win Haryana. I think the political ambitions have far overtaken citizenship issues. That is the truth of the matter.
Chandni, do you think that the government has also taken citizens of Delhi as for fools? You look at their track record, apart from the Mohalla clinics and apart from the schools, Chandni, which the Bharatiya Janata Party continues to say is an exaggerated claim, the Aam Aadmi Party perhaps has built a few flyovers which were already commissioned when Sheila Dikshit used to be the Chief Minister. Apart from that, there doesn't seem to be anything that this party has actually delivered for the capital city. Why do people continuously keep coming back to the Aam Aadmi Party? It was an alternative, Chandani, perhaps 10 years ago, not today. What has to change in the capital city for it to become a model city for rest of the country to be aspiring towards? And also, what should be the message to the people of Delhi as well? Because it's the people who can teach them a lesson, nobody else.
Absolutely, very, very true. It's not just this party. I mean, you look at what this party has done. It's not just about the schools. It's not just about the mohalla clinics. This party has even encroached the land of the High Court and built an office over there. It goes so big and so far and so large that, speaking on Aam Aadmi Party, we say that, it's a party that came above, in such a short span of time. But you also see what has it done to Delhi. Today Atishi says, don't use washing machines, don't use showers, use buckets. What is she doing? The solution that they are bringing in...
Right, and Chandni, there is a laundry list of things that the Aam Aadmi Party has said that they will monitor, and whoever is found of doing that or conducting an activity which is closer to that, they will be prosecuted. But the fact of the matter is, you don't see any patrol police or anybody patrolling the streets of Delhi actually looking at these infringements.
That's all, that's all big cries. Because see, as I was saying, that your solution is asking the citizens to adjust in this scorching heat. While you sit in your AC cabins, you put out press conferences, and all you do is you blame the ruling government and the neighboring states. It's not going to work anymore. And it is high time the media also starts questioning them, that what have they done about the tanker mafia? What are they doing about the crisis that's going on? Because, whenever they put out a conference, I do not see a solution. I do not see them talking about what Supreme Court has told them. I do not see anything that is beyond blaming the government.
What about the Yamuna, Chandani? What about the Yamuna? Who's going to clean that up? Who promised to clean up the Yamuna? Clarify for our viewers, who promised that?
Exactly. The Aam Aadmi Party actually garnered votes on this, that we will clear Yamuna, we will make the Yamuna so clean, but we can see bubbles in Yamuna River. The industrial wastes that is put in Yamuna River, they're making the river toxic.
It's not even bubbles. You can see glaciers of chemical compounding over there, which are poisonous in nature.
It is the foam that floats on Yamuna. It is so poisonous. They are actually playing with the health of the citizens of Delhi. You're opening mohalla clinic. You look at the mohalla clinic that are opened. The state in which they are there. It's a Shulab Shauchalaya would be in a much better state than a mohalla clinic that they are running. See, this government has consistently failed to manage not only Delhi's...
And Chandni, one more point, one more disclaimer here. The Congress party has also shown its anger towards the Aam Aadmi Party when it's come to this water crisis. Just to give you a hint and a trailer of what the India Alliance would have done had they in fact dreamt of coming into power.
I don't even like to talk about these people because they are so fake. And whatever they do is for gaining political mileage, because previously they used to blame the Aam Aadmi Party, then they came into alliance, and now they are shut about it. Now because they will be again playing opposite each other in the Vidhan Sabha, so they'll again start blaming each other.
All right, Chandni, we have a paucity of time. I quickly want to get some concluding thoughts from the rest of our panelists as well. Mr. Adhikari, concluding thoughts from you. What can be this, solace for a Delhiite? And Delhi is a place full of immigrants. They cannot have a bath with Bisleris and Kinleys. They need this water.
Firstly, no city, and it's beyond imagination where you feel that, the entire population can have just Bisleri, Kinleys or Evians or Aquafinas. That's not right. It's the job of the government. It's a responsibility of the government to provide the basic needs. That is why they have been voted into power. And now we can see that how the people are against the Aam Aadmi Party government. Some bit of feeling we have got in the Lok Sabha elections as well. Secondly, this is a result and finest example of gross embellishment and mismanagement of budget. I remember Arvind Kejriwal, before being voted to power, stating that Delhi has a budget of 40,000 crore, and what he has done is that the major infrastructure budget, as you rightly pointed out, about only a few flyovers being just completed, which were commissioned at the time of the Sheila Dikshit government, and such basic needs have been compromised because of the fact that the major budget has gone into supporting such as your excess policy claim, the subsidies there, and the freebies and the subsidies. They have completely failed in managing Delhi, which is the national capital of the world's largest democracy, the 5th largest democracy, and touted to be the 3rd largest democracy.
Right. Mr. Sridhatan, concluding thoughts from you, sir. Is there a solution to this problem, or do you think that the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi should be taking over and running this city with the help of the centre? All right, so there seems to be a network problem, but nevertheless, I appreciate everybody who joined us and in fact spoke about this pressing issue in Delhi, which continues to be not only an issue of something that is a basic human need, but it's also leading up to a vast humanitarian crisis, which of course is also going to become an international flashpoint, because remember folks, those people are always looking at things to pinpoint when it comes to India, since we are growing.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.